Hi Sagittarius, I'm Anisha. To know more about my work, you can visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. For those of you who are seeking deeper clarity on your personal charts, for a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. Sagittarians, it's quite an exciting month. We have Mars that is going retrograde mid-month, followed by Mercury that also goes retrograde around the 29th. Now Mercury is going retrograde 4 times this year, so it's quite an exciting month for a lot of us. We begin the month with Venus that is transiting a part of your chart that speaks about your relationships, your love, romance, creativity, and your children as well. Now Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, sex, and money, and she pretty much rules this house. Sagittarians, take this opportunity to redo, undo all the stuff that has not been working in your relationships. It's also a brilliant time for those of you who have been having a tough time with your children. It's a great time to be counseling them. It's a great time to be spending more time with them. And for those of you who have been wanting to do something really creative, maybe pursue a hobby that you had left way back, it's a great time to be restarting that as well. During this phase, you're going to be feeling very romantic, and it's a brilliant time to be starting relationships as well. For some of you, you could get introduced to a potential mate through a friend or even through a group of people. You may just find someone who's been a friend who turns into a potential partner during this time. It's also a brilliant time that you will find that you are being more playful than you have been for the longest of time. So allow your inner child to come out during this time. Around the 6th, we have Mercury that is transiting a part of your chart that speaks about your day-to-day activities. It speaks about your work and also your health to a certain extent. Now, Mercury is going to be coming over here, and you can expect great conversations around this time, and you're going to be quite absorbed with your work. For some of you, it could mean changing a job. For some of you, it could mean maybe an extended portfolio at work. You could be maybe taking on more that you have been doing otherwise at your workplace. And this is a good thing, Sagittarians. Don't get bogged down by this. It's a time wherein that you will be rewarded by all the efforts that you put at work. As far as your health is concerned, and this trend seems to have been there for you for the last 6 months, where you seem to be, some of you, quite concerned with your health. And it's a brilliant time to be starting not just a new health regime, but maybe even a great diet plan. However, try and keep your expectations realistic. Try not to sort of go over the top and do something, like a crazy diet, something that you follow for 10 days and then you can't just continue with it for the rest of the month. So try and take things easy as far as health is concerned. Try and follow a steady, slow gym routine. And for those of you who have been dealing with a health issue, it's a great time to be taking a second opinion as far as your health is concerned. Around the 7th, we have a lovely new moon, and this is aspecting again a part of your chart that speaks about love, romance, creativity, and children. And new moon is all about opportunities. It's a lovely time where you're given almost a second chance to redo things or maybe do things differently. So again, as far as your relationships are concerned, as far as creativity is concerned, your hobbies, passions are concerned, even dealing with your children are concerned, this is a time where you will have an opportunity. It could almost be God sent. You could find yourself saying this to your friends, that you won't believe that something so surreal happened with me. I had this most amazing opportunity and I was able to see through it with utmost smoothness. New moon is also going to be giving an opportunity to get involved with somebody really potential. It can be that for some of you who have been, however, been in relationships which are fairly new, have not been deep, you may just decide suddenly that it is not working for you, and you may just fall for someone quite suddenly. It can be someone whom you've just met. For some of you who have been, on the other hand, been in a committed long-term relationship, you may just end up popping the question this month, and it can come across as quite a lovely surprise for your partner. Around the 17th, we have Mars that goes retrograde, and it's retrograde until the June 29th. This month, however, it's retrograde in your own house, in your house of self, and the next month it goes retrograde in behind the scenes activities. Now, whenever a Mars goes retrograde, it normally impacts the energy, it impacts enthusiasm, passions, and rashness. So to a certain extent, it's good. But during a Mars retrograde, it's never wise to get into any kind of lawsuits, whether they're divorce cases, whether they are contracts, negotiations, or even starting a new romance. It's always best avoided to be doing that. Sagittarians, during the Mars retrograde, avoid getting into any kind of, whether it is a legal argument or whether even they are just general serious arguments at work. They could escalate faster than you would expect them to. So just keep your head low as far as arguments are concerned, and try and sort of even stay away from negotiations. For those of you who are almost mid-negotiations, especially this has to do with your business deals, try and compromise as much as you can, otherwise you stand to be at the losing end. This is also a time where you could find yourself filling in shoes for a lot of people. So expect some amount of delays which could cause frustrations. It's nothing really major, Sagittarians, but it's just that the delays could be much more longer than you would anticipate them. And with the Martian energy being on a retrograde, you would just generally be feeling quite low, and otherwise some of you could be feeling that you're not feeling as bright or as positive you normally would have felt. And this is just it's a typical Martian retrograde energy which tends to come as a downer. So don't worry too much about it. Slow and steady wins the race. Just keep that at the back of your mind. Around the 20th, we have Sun that is coming in, highlighting a part of your chart that again speaks about your work and health. This seems to be really highlighted for you this month. And whenever Sun comes in, sort of transits a specific part of your chart, and for you, because it is work, it's focusing more on work. And it's asking you, for those of you who have been busy at play and may not have been focusing at work, that you're really coming under the scanner. So tighten up your laces this month, Sagittarians. And the good thing is, the rewards will come to you far more quicker than you have anticipated them to be. So even if there are extra hours that you're putting at work, do so without any grudges, and even if not willingly, try and do them with us. Sagittarians, with Sun coming into focus in this part of your chart, it also speaks about collaborations. It speaks about compromise. Not the best of time to be doing things solo. So try and work in teams. Try and be agreeable, and try not to work in solo. In solo. Try not to work on your, and also try not to work on your own. Around the 22nd, we have a full moon that is there, and this is highlighting a part of your chart that speaks about behind the scenes activities. It speaks about charity, it speaks about spirituality. It's a downtime house, and also it is the house of scandals and secrets. This is the place also where we sort of do, we become our own enemy in certain cases. And with the full moon coming over here, it's sort of, it's speaking about the subconscious. It's about the fruition. So this, I think, for some of you has to speak more so with whether there have been certain mental blockages, or subconsciously you've been battling with certain patterns forever. Maybe it's regarding a relationship that you've been unable to sort of move ahead in that. In certain cases, it could be that maybe a childhood trauma has carried on since into your adulthood, and you've been unable to sort of let go of it. And the full moon energy is, I think, one of the most, even though it's very potent and it could make a lot of us really emotional, but it's very healing as well. So this is coming to an end for you. Maybe you're finally getting healed from the scars of a relationship. Maybe for some of you, a broken relationship that has been fairly traumatic for you. You're finally sort of made peace with yourself over the relationship. And also it's a time wherein that because it's there in the house which speaks about it's behind the scenes, it's not really a very, very social house. It's a great time if you could just get out for a retreat, and if you could spend time with yourself. And it's not the best of times to be socializing. Do some meditation, try and doing some yoga, do some introspection, listen to some music, go for long walks, spend some time with yourself, Sagittarians. So don't feel too blue if there are not too many invites coming. I think you should look at it as a cosmic gift that you're being given a downtime time for yourself. Try and get plenty of sleep as well, and try and drink lots and lots of water around this time. Towards the 29th, Mercury is going retrograde, and Mercury goes retrograde in your house of work and health as well. So towards end of the month, while the transit, we began the month with with Mercury going direct in your house of work and health. End of the month, you need to literally be rewiring yourself to slow down. And it's a time to reevaluate your work. It's a time to be re-examining your projects. It's a time to be re-looking at the contracts, the things that you've been planning, or you're about to action them. It's just a time to even renegotiate, Sagittarians. As far as your health is concerned, if something has been bothering you for the longest time, it's wise to go out and maybe take a second opinion from a doctor or from an expert and see as to whether you can get better help. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Sagittarians, and a quick reminder for those of you who are seeking deeper clarity in your personal charts, on your relationships and at your work, you may write to me for a personal consultation at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. It's been lovely speaking with you, Sagittarians. I'll see you again next month, and thank you so much for watching.